We are studying the Dagdha Rashis, which is a typical part of the Panchanga. And as you can see the Panchanga and the Yogi table on the right hand side. You can see that this is the chart of Mahatma Gandhi. He was born on Saturday. And Surya in his chart is in the 12th house in MKS, Marana Karakasthana, in Virgo, Kanya Rashi. Two factors are there to this Surya. One is the Lord of the Rashi, which is Rahu, which has gone into battle with the moon. And the second is the Lord of the Rashi, Mercury, which has gone into battle with Mars, seventh Lord. So we have two battles in the horoscope coming from Surya. Surya is your soul and how this soul is interacting with the world and what interactions that we are going to have, what interactions we are going to see, that is all coming from Surya. Now, we have to have Surya in mind when we study combustion in any kind of form or manner because all fire is ultimately coming from Surya. But Surya passes on the order of punishment or destruction to Mars and Ketu, which is Mars is the commander in chief of Surya's army, and Ketu is the army itself, which decides whether Surya will succeed or fail. Now, in this scenario, we find that the two Dagdha Rashis that are being calculated for this particular horoscope are Sagittarius and Pisces. Now, these two Rashis we have to keep in mind in all the divisional charts. It's not just the Rashi chart. Previously, in the Dr. Raman conference, I had explained the use of Dagdha Rashi in the Rashi chart and partially in the Navamsha. But now we are going to take it one step further and see some other divisional charts and see how it works. In Gandhi's chart, you can see all we have to do is to look at these two Rashis, Sagittarius and Pisces, Meena Rashi and Dhanu Rashi, and check as to which of these two Rashis are going to suffer a combustion or some kind of a very powerful order of Surya. Now, Dagdha or a combustion in life, Dagdha or a combustion actually starts from the maturity of Saturn. Saturn's first maturity is at a young age of 19 years, and his second is at 36 years. And you can see that this Saturn, especially the second maturity of 36, can be a very turbulent time. So Saturn is the ready to get burnt, ready to change, ready to combust. Whereas Ketu represents the smoke that is coming out from the combustion, which is creating a haze, where things are not very clear, where there is a lot of confusion. And Rahu indicates the border where we are crossing the border, where we are taking very, very vital changes in our life, where we are taking very hard decisions, very tough decisions that we have to take. So in the Rashi chart, it's about me, it's about the person himself, it's about Gandhi himself. And we normally see that Gandhi is a very strong personality because the moon and Rahu, whenever the moon is with Rahu, the mind is capable of crossing the border. You see, normally what happens, the human mind goes to the border and comes back, accepts defeat. No, no, that is too far. I'm not going so far, and comes back. But when the moon is with Rahu, the mind will cross the border, will try something new, will try something outside the box. So you need moon with Rahu or moon aspected by Rahu to have a mind which is so strong like a stone that can take a lot of suffering and have the courage to cross the border to do something new. Now, in this process, you are going to suffer some combustions. It's not possible to bring about major transformations in any concept in the world, in any form or manner, even in your own family. You can't bring about major transformations without suffering some combustion, some burning, some astangata. Astangata is different from Dagdha. Astangata is about setting. is about ending, it's about shutting down, whereas Dagdha is pure combustion. Here, the Sagittarius and Pisces are getting combusted. We are now going to take a look at these signs in the Saptamsha chart, which has to do with children, because Jupiter is the lord of these two signs. Both the signs are lorded by Jupiter, and Jupiter naturally is Putra Karaka. So, our first thought should be to look at the house of children, to check the children in the horoscope of Gandhi. And in the Rashi chart, we have the fifth lord, Saturn, in the second house, having a parivartana with Ketu, which means some of the children will be under that Ketu, Saturn, parivartana yoga, in which they will accept the transformations and will themselves undergo transformation. Whereas the other, you can see Rahu is with the moon and is having a terrible fight with the moon. So there are issues in the chart, and we need to check which of these children will take the path of Rahu and fight with Gandhi, with Mahatma Gandhi, and which of his children will follow the path of Saturn Ketu Parivartana, that is following Hari Bhava, going to the path of Hari, becoming vegetarian, staying vegetarian, becoming pure teetotalers, becoming, I mean, basically a very, very pure life. The Saptamsa chart has Scorpio rising, and this is a male chart. So the fifth house is, we see, is Pisces. This is ruled by Jupiter. So definitely the eldest child is going to create problems. The combustion will happen to the eldest child. It is very interesting that his eldest son and he died very close to each other. Very, very close. And the fifth house in the Saptamsha also has Rahu Venus. Rahu is very, very strong and violent winds. These are like the tornadoes, these are like the storms. And when the Jala planets, water planets are in contact with such a powerful wind of Rahu, the water is thrown up. The huge waves are created. We call them Rakshasa Bhava, demon thoughts. So Rahu with Venus will indicate demon thoughts in the mind of the eldest child, and these demon thoughts will cause a demonic karma by which he will rebel against the father, he will fight with the father. So these things we have to keep in mind. And this was the greatest challenge of Gandhi, actually. Very little is studied and written about this. Similarly, we can look at the other vargas. The other vargas we can see are the Dwadasamsha. Here the Lagna rising is Sagittarius. So the problem is with yourself. You are feeling combust. You are feeling Dagdha. You are feeling something is burning inside you because of something wrong that maybe you have done. You think you have done something very bad. So in Dwada Samsha, if any of the signs, Sagittarius or Pisces would be the Lagna, then you will end up blaming yourself for doing something wrong. I have faltered. I have done something wrong. I have to make up. So this is a very important part of Vedic astrology. And normally this is ignored, but this is very important in the psychological profile of people, because this is how our thoughts are generated. Gandhi always blamed himself that he was with his wife in the private chambers in his bedroom when his father died, whereas it was his job to be next to his father during the last moments. So he always blames himself for being a failure in the eyes of his father. So therefore, he needs to make up to his father. He needs to do something, but the father is dead. So he wants to do something for the people and the land, and so he starts with the name of Ram. Ram is Surya avatar. So we start our healing with our father by taking the name of Ram, and that's where we are going to do something great for the people and the country and the souls, and by that we shall redeem ourselves. So that's how the Dwada Samsha works. The fourth house is also ruled by Jupiter in the Dwada Samsha. But if you look carefully, Jupiter and the Sun are in the fourth house in Pisces. And Jupiter is extremely powerful in Pisces, so we cannot say that a combustion is really occurring in the fourth house of mother. So the combustion is restricted to the ninth house of father, and Mars is there in the ninth house in Dwadasam. So he feels the punishment very, very strongly. In this manner, we can study all the divisional charts of the horoscope and see the Dagdha Rashis. Thank you.